Let's start out with some new polling out of Emerson, which shows Trump maintaining a lead over Joe Biden. But this is a little more interesting than that if we look into the weeds of this. A new Emerson College polling national survey of registered voters finds former President Donald Trump with a 4-point lead over President Biden in a hypothetical 2024 matchup, 47-43, within the poll's margin of error. 10% are undecided. Since last month, Trump's support has held at 47, while Biden's support has decreased from 45 to 43, with third-party and independent candidates RFK Jr., Cornel West, and Jill Stein added to the ballot. Trump's support decreases 5 points to 42. Biden decreases 7 to 36, while 7% support RFK. West and Stein, respectively, at 1%, and the share of undecided voters increases 3 points to 13%, with the third-party candidates factored in. Spencer
and
Kimball,
here comes DeSantis.
Yeah, right, exactly. Spencer Kimball, executive director of Emerson College Polling, compared Trump's standing in this national poll this time last year. Last November, Biden led Trump by 4 points, whereas this November he trails Trump by 4. Several key groups have shifted in the past year. Biden led at this time last year among women by 7 points, which has reduced to just 1 this year. Other notable shifts in a comparison of this poll and last year's national poll include everything we've been seeing. Plus 61 amongst Black and African American voters in 2022 to plus 47, a 15-point net shift in Trump's direction. From plus 14 among Hispanics to plus 3. From plus 12 among young voters, voters under 50, to minus 1. Biden now trailing all voters under 50. And from plus 18 among four-year college graduates to just plus 2. So more disastering polling news for Joe Biden. But I just want to hone in on these numbers here because there are two things that really jumped out at me. Number one, continuing on from what I've been saying all along, RFK, despite a lot of people's intuition, is going to end up hurting Joe Biden more than Donald Trump, and that seems to continue to bear out.
Man. That was a good call.
I did seem to have called that. Yes, exactly. But this is the more striking development this time, as far as I can see. You had, in the past 4 weeks, young voters and Arab voters, two traditionally Democratic voting groups, flee Joe Biden in droves, and they fled to his left. They dem-exited to the left. That doesn't always happen. Some people dem-exit to the right or to the center. But you had core left voting groups dem-exit to the left of Joe Biden, and here you have the idiot Cornel West and Jill Stein only polling at 1 point apiece. These two schmucks were handed a trove of voters on a silver fucking platter this cycle, and they are polling at 1 point apiece. If that does not speak to the utter dysfunction of left third parties in this country, I don't know what does. How? After Arabs flee the Democrats, only 17% of Arab voters say they're voting Democrat. Young voters are losing, Biden is losing young voters to Trump. How is it that the two left third-party candidates are polling at a combined 2 fucking points? Well, how? They've proven how incompetent they are and how unserious they are. That's how. When Cornel was running as a Green, for all of his faults and all of his missteps, he was polling 5, 6, 7, 8. One poll even had him at 9. Since they have demonstrated their utter lack of ability to organize for fucking shit, here they are, 1 point apiece in this golden opportunity of an election cycle. That's really pathetic.
This is where I have to say, and everybody knows, I am a big subscriber to Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is usually the best, and I'm not saying this is absolutely true. But I do at this point have to wonder, when you look at all of these smart people who seem to do everything they can to miss the target, I have got to wonder if when you start getting into this kind of challenge to the duopoly politics, if you get a call or you get a black van sitting outside your house in the middle of the night. I wonder if you get scared off doing it in a serious way, because I made that mistake with the Democrats, and I don't want to make that mistake again. I spent many years attributing their absolute uselessness to incompetence. And over time, I realized, no, actually, these people are very, very smart. They're smart enough to be getting people to give them money to do nothing by pretending to care about things they don't actually give a fuck about. Now, I don't want to make that mistake again. And frankly, I'm looking at these people and I'm saying, well, you know, Jill Stein, Cornel West, Chris Hedges, are these stupid people? Are these people who can't see what's right in front of them, really? So I have to wonder if it's intentional. I have to wonder if they throw the fight. If any time they're in a position where they might actually score a knockout, they pull their punches because they're going to get whacked. I have to wonder.
Well, what I would say is there's more than one way you can get whacked, right? Getting
Well,
whacked
sure.
could be
In the
professional
broad
consequences.
sense.
In the broad sense.
sense.
Right, exactly. I mean, you never know what pressure is applied to any one individual at any given time unless you actually know something, right? But looking at it from 30,000 feet, yeah, it does seem very strange that all these very smart people get really stupid once they get to the 1 yard line and are about to really challenge power. They all of a sudden pull back. Right.
Right. And we all sound like Democrats. Oh, why did they do that? It's so stupid. You just got to do this. And that's your ego talking. Maybe they're not stupid. Maybe they're smart. Maybe it's intentional.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. Intentional doesn't necessarily mean there's a black van outside your house. Intentional could mean, hey, we're the Green Party. We have a donor base that's used to doing things a certain way. These people are completely out of step with most of the general public. But do we really want to take a chance and alienate them to make a pitch to the general public? Because what if the general public doesn't go for us either? Then our donor base dries up and we have no grift going, right? Like, it could be that. It could be you get comfortable in a certain position. Every institution reaches that point at some point. Every institution that is of any level of stability, even if you don't want to call it success, right? Any institution that reaches a sort of plateau where it can keep just kind of chugging along doing what it does, any chance to jump up a few rungs is also a chance to knock yourself down a few rungs, right? Every chance to disrupt that status quo is a chance you're taking with a downside. And I think a lot of these people and organizations just don't want to take that chance, right? Cornel West has a reputation for a, radical, as Harvard professors go anyway, right? Mm-hmm. And if he really makes a run for president, he could succeed in starting a broader movement that energizes swaths of people. But he could also fail, and if he fails and CNN won't call him back to have him on the air to sell his next book, well, now he's fucked, right?
Sure.
Now what does he do? Jill Stein, same thing, right? You're inside an organization that has a certain status quo, a certain rhythm to it, a certain self-sustaining way about it. And any big moments is a moment to succeed. It's also a chance to fail. And I think they're fucking pussies at the end of the day. I don't think they want to take that chance. Because what other explanation? How could you be blowing it this bad? How could you be blowing it this bad where you have college students chanting fuck Joe Biden and exiting to the left? Cornel West can't take any of those votes up? Cornel West, a beloved figure in left academia, he can't get enough college kids on his side to poll above 1 point? It just makes no sense. It makes no sense.
That's the Occam's razor way to look at it. And hey, maybe it's that simple. Maybe Cornel, as people have said, is just not a team player. Maybe, as we reported on via a former friend, that Cornel got a call from the Lavender Caucus about fixing his position on trans athletes, and he blew his top about it and decided he doesn't want to deal with these fucking maniacs. Maybe, but it goes beyond this one election cycle. And I just can't believe that nobody who's ever been in a position to make a difference didn't know better than to do things the way they do them. I just can't believe that there's no purposeful throwing of the game in all.
That's what I mean by saying they're fucking pussies at the end of the day. They chicken out at the end of the day. It's not incompetence at the end of the day. It's lack of will. It's lack of courage to do what they know they would have to do.
Please clap.